Yo, what is going on YouTube? Thank you so much for coming out and checking out this video. Today, guys, I've decided to sit on down, do a nice tier list of just for people that are just getting into the game. Marvel Rivals has done extremely well in especially in their marketing. A lot of people are getting on this game for the very first time, trying to figure out, what characters they should play and what characters are worth it, whatever. So I decided to make a video of just kind of you know, if I was starting in bronze today, right? I'm brand new to the game. These are the characters that you probably should be able to play. Now, just with all that said, let me just say this: I'm a celestial player. I'm gonna try to hit eternal by the end of the season. I just made a Smurf just a few days ago. Started hitting rank like hardcore to see, does some of my theories do they actually work, with certain characters and da 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 da. And I got all the way up to Diamond 1, I want to say in like 2 days. For an example of just like actually sitting down, playing ranked. I went on some really nice win streaks and so on and so forth. And I'm also doing that as a DPS player. So just keep that in mind. My very first account ever, my Celestial account, I did it as a strategist. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to be a little biased sometimes when it comes to this tier list. But I also used to play Overwatch. I hit like Masters, Grandmasters, stuff like that. I was a pretty good player in that as well, and I've been able to move those skills on over to Marvel Rivals. I fell in love with this game, and I want to be able to help people out that are brand new to the game and kind of give them, think of it like riding a bicycle. You know what I mean? I'm taking off the trading wheels and I'm just giving you a little push on the characters that I feel like you should definitely be playing if you're wanting to level up your grind rank and get your ranked up. So let's get it started. So in this tier list, right, I'm not going based off of like who's the strongest, like who's the most meta or whatever it may be. I'm going based off of the easiness of what I think of how easy it is to learn a character, to be able to play the character at a pretty nice level. And I'm trying my best not to I don't want you to play characters to get where you have this sense of I'm bad at the game, I'm trash at the game, and I just don't want to play the game anymore. That is what I'm trying to not allow happen, okay? I don't want to kill your confidence. They might be a character on here like Spider-Man that you might really, really, really like, but it might take you time to learn other characters so you understand the game and what you're doing, and then you're going to see what Spider-Man's is supposed to be doing, right? So, all right, let's go. So the S tier here, this is the easiest, I would say. Thor is S tier. Absolutely freak. He's a freak in rank play. You can constantly be getting shields with him. You're just hitting things, right? You can be the one that's leading your entire team in damage after it's all said and done. You're gonna have to learn when to use some of his abilities because of the mechanics that he uses for like his energy. So you got to learn that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't take you very long to pick up on Thor, and Thor's can be an absolutely game changer. My next character I would say is probably Strange. I'm gonna go ahead and put him up in the S tier as well. Strange has the unique ability of having his shield, so you're defending yourself, you're defending your teammates. His shield regenerates and it does it pretty quickly as well. You have a really cool ability where, so basically, like if a group puts a wall behind you, you can actually fly back over it, which a lot of characters in the game doesn't really. A lot of the Vanguards don't have that ability. So the survivability that you have as Strange playing as a Vanguard is pretty high. Like you can survive with him pretty well. He does pretty good damage as well, and his ultimate can be an absolute game changer. And his teleports are absolutely insane, right? A lot of times people try to get to first point by porting behind them. You're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn to see where to port people, when to use it. But after it's all said and done, you're gonna be very, very happy. I feel like that you're playing Strange. You can play him at each level and play him well. Let's see here. So I'm gonna do all the Vanguards first before I go over to like the DPS characters. All right, let's do Magneto. So the thing about Magneto, I'm gonna put him in the A. Magneto is a character where you need to try to be on your mic. You need to be trying to call out when you're going to be using your bubbles. And you also need to, now this just takes repetition, but you need to get good with its ultimate, right? People play Magneto up in the high ranks because of his ult, because you're able to kill Cloak and Dagger. You're able to kill maybe Luna Snow when she's ulting. His ult is very, very strong because it's one massive burst amount of damage. So if you're gonna want to play Magneto, you got to learn how to play on your mic. You're gonna have to learn how to use your bubbles correctly, and you're also gonna be having to hit his ult. If you cannot do that, right, then Magneto is just not the character for you for right now. Okay, Magneto, like, yes, he does have some survivability, but once you use your bubble and once you use that little shield that he can just pop up, you're dead. You're dead, right? So like you have to learn when to kind of go up with him, when to stay back. I do not suggest Magneto at the lower ranks, so between bronze, probably all the way up to platinum. I probably would not really recommend Magneto, but once you get up into the high plats, the diamond lobbies, even into very low GM, right? Magneto's ultimate is an absolutely game changer, and you're just gonna continue playing him, for the rest of the time, basically, when it comes to this game, unless he just hits a massive nerf. All right, let's see here. All right, so the Thing. I really, really, really like the Thing. But the thing though is that you have to be on mic with him, right? You need to be calling out when you're gonna go in. You gotta be letting people know when you're about to be ulting, so then somebody can try to pair with you. The Thing is a good character. Honestly, I don't know. I think more I think about it when it comes to the survivability, I'm gonna put him down into the B spot for new players, just because you need healing, right? You need to heal. These guys right here, you can kind of take over a game at lower comps without needing it as bad. But like with him, you need it. Like you need the healing. So I would not suggest playing the Thing until you probably high plat to low diamond, but you need to understand what you're trying to do with a Thing. You're trying to disrupt the back, right? You also have great damage for like people like the Strange and stuff like that, but you got to learn his positioning. If you can position well with a Thing, you can become an unstoppable force. If you do not understand, if you don't understand the words what I'm saying when it comes to positioning, then you need to stay away from the Strange for the Thing for a little bit. Let me see here, and they say the Incredible Hulk. I'm gonna put him C. Honestly, the only reason I'm not putting him in the D is just because like I know what people can do with the Hulk, but as a new player, absolutely not. Stay away from him. Maybe when you get up into Diamond, lower GM, yes, there's gonna people that's gonna play Iron Man, that's gonna want you to play the Hulk for Gamma, and da 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 da. If it's not at least a Lord Iron Man, like if like they haven't spent a lot of time on Iron Man, I would not even touch the Hulk. He is a character where people can play him at a very high level and still lose the game, which then can also discourage you. So just keep that in mind. All right, and then let's see here. Let me go to Groot. All right, so Groot is definitely an A tier. Once you get good with him, once you know how to use Groot, Groot is probably the strongest character in the game. He is a game changer. People need to ban him. People don't ban him as much as what they should. He's an absolute game changer. But when it comes to just leveling up, ranking up, I mean, I would say he's probably a B or an A. But his ceiling that you can get to him is an absolutely S. But I would say for climbing, he needs heals, right? You need to put your walls up so you can self heal. And you also need to be able to be on mic when you're about to call out your ultimate, because your ultimate, it brings everyone together. So then, you can have somebody like a Namor or a Moon Knight or somebody like that that just can absolutely use their ult above you and absolutely destroy it and wipe the team. But right now, I'm gonna put him in the A tier. Let me see here. All right, Penny, I'm going to put C tier. The mechanics of her don't look hard, but they're harder than what they look. and she's very map situational. There's some maps that she is amazing on. Try not to play Penny on offense. I know people try to do it. I know you watch YouTubers that do it, but they have a different mindset of you than you when it comes to playing Penny Parker. They're looking for things that you are probably not used to looking for when you're playing Marvel Rivals for the first time and just trying to join, get up in rank for the very first time. So, you got to keep that in mind. All right. All right, Venom. Venom, I honestly would not suggest Venom to be ranking up with. Once, if you get high enough, right, you're understanding that your healers can heal you, whatever, but there's a lot of probably good Venoms that is stuck in lower rank because they force this guy, and it's not really you making the mistakes that it's like you got to understand your positioning. You got to know when to get out of fight. But there is some strategists that just don't know how to heal. And you're going to die times when you probably shouldn't be dying. So I would honestly stay away from Venom until you hit probably like those mid ranks. You know what I mean? Like gold. I wouldn't even use them in gold, platinum, diamond, stuff like that. But I don't really like Venoms too much. So I'm going to keep them down here. All right. So then, Captain America, I would probably put him C tier, but he's kind of like a Venom, right? You got to know when to get in and get out. He does have better survivability, because he's so fast, right? He's got his jumps, he's got his shield, but I would not recommend Captain America, honestly. All right, and let's see here. I think that is all of the tanks, so let's go ahead and let's start working on the DPS here. All right, so Hela. I'm going to put Hela up in the S tier. Now, oh, I'm so sorry. I misclicked there. All right, so now I'm going to say, all right, I think I'm all good. Sorry about that. So, the thing with Hela is that she's got super good survivability. All you got to do is be able to click heads. After you play her for a while, you're gonna get to know that, right? She's got an escape move. She's got that bubble thing. She's got the ability where you can shoot all of their spikes, and even somebody goes behind the wall, it explodes, so you can get some kills that way as well. You just got to learn to kind of stay back, not to be moving up so much. Her ultimate is pretty easy to use. You go up in the air, you shoot down these beams. It's not very hard to use, so I like her. And the thing about her is that she's already survived some nerfs. Like, she's already been hit with nerfs, and you can there's also people that is up in the pro ranks or higher ranks that are still playing her like crazy, because the fact of some of her headshot damage is just absolutely crazy. So, all right, let's go to another DPS here. Let's go to Black Panther. I'm going to put him in the D tier. He's just not worth it. He's not worth the energy. The thing with Black Panther is they have to really watch how strong they're going to make him, because if they make him too strong, he's going to absolutely just take over the game. So I try to stay away from, and I like Black Panther, right? I played him every now and again, but like it's like he's kind of, his passive is pretty bad. He's just not a very good character to be learning the game with, so I would definitely wait to use Black Panther later on. Let me see here. Black Widow, I would not ever touch Black Widow. The reason why is because I know that NetEase is kind of learning from Overwatch, and the thing about it is that they don't want a Widowmaker style of meta. They don't want that, right? When you have a sniper that is really, really strong, it changes the entire game way too much. Like, for an example, like if you use any of the flyers and you're playing against a good Black Widow, right? And let's say she gets buffed a little bit more, she can just shoot you out of the sky like it's absolutely nothing, right? Then she can also pick off your back lane. It's just the reason why I try to stay away from snipers in these types of games is because the developers really, really have to watch how strong they make it, because it's such a massive meta change. So just, I would not worry about Black Widow right now. Hawkeye is an absolute game changer, once you can hit your shots with him. I'm gonna put him in the B tier because like you can kind of you can sit back, right? Like you can do the bow, but you gotta know when it's not working. Okay, like if you're not hitting your shots, and that's what I'm saying. I like consistency. I like characters that are easy to play that you can consistently do damage with, right? Hawkeye's not that character. But now if you play him through maybe bronze, you play him through silver, you have the personality top where, you're not having your confidence absolutely crushed. By the time you probably get up into about probably platinum, you're probably gonna have a pretty nice shot. And that means that you can one tap cloak and daggers, you can one tap honestly, the one tapping the cloak and dagger is extremely strong, right? Like it's just an absolutely game changer where, oh my god, they're using a support ult and then bam, they're dead, right? Like it's that easy by literally left clicking their head. So, if you can get good with him, phenomenal. All right, so Iron Fist, I'm gonna put him down in the C tier. You got to know when to go in. You got to know when to get out. You got to know his escape routes. Now they did kind of make him where, it's more of just, fighting the tanks, hitting the tanks, killing the tanks, that type of like gameplay, but still you got to know when to go in, when to jump out, when to use his, the move where he's able to, parry everything, who you're trying to hit when you're ulting with him. There's just a lot of mechanics to go with Iron Fist, and I just wouldn't recommend him to a brand new player that's trying to climb rank. All right, let me see here. Iron Man B tier. I'm gonna basically put most of the flyers in the B tier. If that is your style of play, you like flyers, man. Awesome, go for it. Iron Man is okay. Gamma's pretty nice to have. The laser beam thing is pretty easy to use. You just got to get used to like how far away you need to be away from somebody. You got to learn the positioning on the maps, but that's kind of for every character in the game. I like Iron Man. I love his comics, so he's not a bad character, but just understand there's gonna be some characters. There's gonna be some games you go in where you're playing against the Hawkeyes, you're playing against you're playing against you're playing against Punishers, you're playing against Buckies, and they're literally just picking some of those characters to counter you. So you got to keep that in mind, right? So, he's probably like I would say he's a B tier character. All right, let's see who else we got next. Magic. So the thing about Magic is, and the reason why I'm probably gonna put her in the A tier is because Magic characters, that just you having a Magic on the field changes the game, right? Like people are so like, I mean, I guess not in the lower ranks, but as you're up in the higher ranks, people are so used to seeing good Magics that as soon as you play a Magic, bro, they're like, whoa, 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 Magics are game changers, right? But as you play Magic more and you play against Magic more, you're gonna start understanding how to counter Magics, right? But yeah, I've seen people that's like, hey, I'm gonna try to do my road to Grandmasters or road to, Celestial, and then they just play Magic and they're able to do that pretty well. But you gotta understand her combo. You gotta hit her combo. If you can hit it consistently, you can one-shot most people and you're an automatic game changer, right? But also the thing with Magic is that people are targeting you, right? Like they count as you get up higher, they count how many, when you've used that second portal, right? Like they know. So you got to keep that in your mind. But if you want to be a Magic player, go ahead and try to start her early, right? Yes, you're gonna miss out on some heals. You're not gonna be able to carry but the more games you play, the higher you're going to go up in rank and the better Magic player I think you can become. I've seen Magic players that can absolutely take over games, and that could be you. All right, now let's see here. So another DPS. So Moon Knight, Moon Knight I put in the B tier. He is situational. You don't want him on every single map. His ultimate last season was just stupidly strong. Like half of the season, but now they kind of nerfed it. It's kind of easier to get out of. Yes, you hear the whole, but you can't mess with them, you throw your art. Yes, but you got to know how to get up on certain buildings. You got to know how to do your yank just correctly to be able to, get the most value out of it. If you play against a good team, they will just absolutely destroy your yank or whatever. You also got to know how to defend yourself against Spider-Mans, Black Panthers, Namors, players that like like when you get up into certain areas, they're gonna be there too to challenge you. You got to know how to 1v1. So Moon Knight is an easy character in theory because of his kit, but in the long run, there is more to him than you just throw an ank and you just shoot. Okay, yeah, there's more to it than that. All right, Namor, I'm gonna put him up in the S tier. I love him. He's a character where if you see them have an okay Spider-Man and you're in silver, you throw down a Namor, right? You understand that you can throw your squids just basically wherever you want them to, right? You have an okay shot. You can absolutely shut that Spider-Man down. That Spider-Man, probably in gold, unless he's just a smurf, he will absolutely get shut down. You can win the game because of that, right? Namor is a game changer just by his squids. You can throw them anywhere you want to, which is really cool to me. You right click, you get a loon on your team. Now you have 3 squids. Yeah, Namor is just a very good character to grind rank with. All right. Let me see here. Psych. I would probably put her. I'm gonna put her B just because her ultimate, right? Because her ultimate, like, you can't die in it, and it can be a game changer, especially in the lower ranks. But the thing with Sai is that she's extremely squishy, right? Extremely, right? So, like, positioning is very, very strong with her. Yes, you can go invisible. Yes, you have her dashes. So, you got some good survivability if you know how to use it correctly. You got a gun, that you're shooting basically. So, you're shooting from from a little bit of a ways away. If you know, I'm not a sight professional, but at the same time, I've seen Sykes come in and absolutely be a game changer. But her survivability is okay. You can't die in her ult. Stuff like that is really cool. But you got to know how to. You got to know how to reliably get her ultimate consistently in order to be a good sight player, in my opinion. All right, Punisher. S tier. I mean, come on, guys. Like, we've all played Call of Duty, I'm sure, or Battlefield at some point, right? He's just your typical military gun shooter. You can also switch to a shotgun for Hulks or Thors or anybody that gets closer to you. You got the turret. The thing about the turret is you gotta know when to kind of use it though, when you kind of overstaying your welcome on it. And the ultimate is an absolute game changer. I yeah, I like him. He's fine. I'll put him up in the S tier. You can play him basically at any rank. All right, now this part is probably gonna break one of your hearts, and it's fine. But Spider-Man B tier when it comes to learning a character. He is very, very hard. He's a 4-star character on the difficulty level. You got to know and I'm sorry, but Spider-Mans get flamed all the time, right? Like you're either gonna win the game for your team or you're gonna lose the game for your team, right? If you don't know how to switch, if you are a Spider-Man that just wants to be flying around the map and whatever, and then and the thing about Spider-Mans is they're like, oh well, I got 3 kills that round, yes, but you used it all, but you just got them because of your ultimate. So I would stay away from Spider-Man until you understand the game better, until you play against Spider-Man, so you see kind of what they play and how they do it. But I would stay away from Spider-Man for a while. Wanda is I would say is a character where she's good and she's bad. It depends on the situation. If you have a Magneto on your team to do the team up ability with Magneto, I mean, she's probably an A tier. You can't miss with her basically. You have two teleport things where you're able to basically become invincible. If you can stay on your mic and you say, Magneto, I'm about to ultimate, right? And he gives you a bubble and you ult. That is awesome. That is an A tier. But if you don't play on your mic, she is an automatic B tier. Okay? Mic, A tier. No mic, B tier. Okay? It's really that easy. Okay? If you are someone that is serious about grinding rank, you want to be able to grind it, right? She's very easy to play. She has pretty decent survivability. It's you. Do you have a mic? Do you want to use your mic? Awesome. If not, awesome. That's Wanda. Okay, that's Wanda in a nutshell. All right, Score Girl. I love her. I love her. This is my main on my Smurf. Consistent damage, absolutely game changer with her stuns. Her ultimate has gotten way better now, right? It tracks basically the enemy with the AI stuff. There have been multiple times where I would think I would be losing the fight. You know, I drop my ult, I kill both of the supports with it, and then bam, next thing you know, we win the round. So, but I will say the only downside with her is that certain maps she's just not as good on, but that consistent damage of being able just to punt it out just to see what you're able to kill, having two, not one, but being able to do two stuns, right, is so nice. And her tail jump away, it's pretty strong. I've gotten away with a lot of ult. If somebody's ulting on me, I'm able to use it, be able to get out, throw my stun down, be able to get a kill or two. It's pretty nice. All right. Yep. Score girl, S tier. All right. Little Star Lord. I'm going to put Star Lord. I'm probably going to put him. I don't know. I'm probably going to put him in the B. If you're able to get his ult consistently, A tier. Okay? Like, he's a good. Honestly, I'm going to put him in the A. Right? Because you're shooting two pistols, right? You have your escape abilities. You have your jump, spin, jump, roll ability. I'm putting him in his A tier. You're just gonna have to win some of your 1v1s. I mean, that's really, if you really want to play Star-Lord, there's gonna be times where you meet Spider-Mans, you meet Black Panthers, you meet certain characters in certain spots, and you're just gonna have to win the 1v1. If you can win your 1v1s consistently, you can consistently get Star-Lord's ultimate. You can also fly to a health package, right? Because at the lower ranks, you're not going to get as much healing as what you probably should be getting. So you're going to have to be flying around getting health packs. But with Star-Lord, it makes it possible. It's pretty super easy. So, yeah, I'll put him in the A tier. All right, let's see here. Now we have Bucky. Bucky is a character that drives me wild in leveling up, okay? If you cannot consistently hit your shots, he's C, okay? His pool is still nice to have. Yes, his ultimate is great. You have to hit your shots. I've played with kids before where they just really like Bucky, or their favorite YouTuber plays Bucky, and next thing you know, they miss 2 out of every 3 of his shots, right? They don't know how to, spam in his abilities to be able to get the reload to get the quick reload that you need. I think Bucky's a C when it comes to him in the lower ranks and leveling him up, because people just are not good with him. They're just not. Now, once you get up into the higher ranks, he becomes very, very good, right? He becomes a very, very good. I ban him all the time. But to level up, to rank up a character, you have to hit your shots. You have to. So I'm going to keep him in a C, not because of his kit, not because of his ultimate, not because of what I don't think he can do. It's because of how people play him, and they've just missed too many shots with him when it comes to leveling up a character, leveling up their rank. All right, Storm. I'll put Storm in the B tier. You got to hit your shots with her, but her ultimate is extremely easy to use. She has a very nice little team up with Thor. If you can get a Storm, a Hela, and a Thor on your team, right? Like, these two really help each other out, and they can, like, revive each other. Like, it's really nice to have. All right. Wolverine. Man, Wolverine. So the thing about learning Wolverine is that people are going to ban him quite often once you start getting up into those mid to higher ranks, right? So he's going to get banned a lot. Is it good to know how to use a Wolverine if he can pass through? Absolutely, right? Like, he is an A tier character, right? His kit is very, very nice to have, right? I mean, some people would even say S tier. Fine. But some people would say S tier. That's fine. But A to, right here is probably where he's going to be at. But you need healing with him, right? You need to heal. You need to be able to use his dashes effectively to be able to get in and out. You need to know how to kidnap people. You got to know how to do certain things with him. So, with that said, in ranking up with him, I'm going to put him down here, to that B to C. Not because of you personally playing him, but because of people don't know how to play around a Wolverines, right? Now, if you have practiced him in quick play, you know how to play him, fine. But this is one of those characters where he needs help. If he don't get his help, he's hard to play. If he gets help, you win the game. That's, to me, that's basically the way it works. All right, so now let's go to Mr. Fantastic. I understand why people play Mr. Fantastic. I've seen people one trick what Mr. Fantastic all the way up to GM or Celestial. I get why people play him. For the average player, he is probably a C tier. For the average person, okay? For someone that does not want to one trick him, okay? His ultimate is not very good. Yes, you can bubble, you can use that shield ability where you could jump on your teammate and shield somebody, right? But that is very situational. You got to know when to use it, when not to use it. He has that one ability where, he doesn't take any damage. But for the most part, I'm going to put him in a C tier. A lot of people are going to flame you if you play him. Now, if you get really good with him, incredible, awesome, let's go. But if not, I think that Mr. Fantastic is probably like a C tier character. All right, now the Human Torch. Human Torch, I'm going to probably put in the C tier. Yes, there is guides of how to play him very, very well. But the thing with him is that he is a character where he can break your spirits pretty easy when it comes to like I'm a decent Iron Man. I can play Iron Man. I'm alright with him. Storm, okay. I'm just not very good with the Human Torch. The Human Torch is just a character where he just plays so differently than the other characters that I feel like you're gonna get a lot of hit markers. You got to get used to that. He's more about speed, but like he's got a smaller hitbox, so his survivability is a little bit better. But I don't know. If you can get really good with him, and that's the character that you want to play, incredible, awesome. There is people on here that one trick him that can tell you everything about him. I personally just cannot recommend him to a brand new player that's getting on the game. All right, now. It looks like now we're down to our strategist, my favorite role in the entire game. So let's go. All right, so Adam Warlock, I'm going to put him in a solid, probably B tier. He's got really no survivability unless you heal yourself. His ultimate, a lot of times people just don't know how to use it. And then also when you ult people, you bring them back to life, you have to be in a good enough position where you're able to heal them up all the way correctly. If you can hit your shots with him, he's fine, but I'm going to put him in B tier. All right, Cloak and Dagger, S tier. I love my Cloak and Dagger. She was my first ever character that I got to Lord. You can damage with her, you can heal. It's an auto heal too. Like it's all you gotta do is look at them, press the button, it's gonna work. The ultimate is pretty nice to have. You can engage or you can use a defensive ult. Yes, you can die from Magneto's ult, and yes, you can get one shot by Hawkeye. So she's situational with that, but at the same time, you can always control about who the other team picks. So I like Cloak and Dagger. You should like Cloak and Dagger. She's got good survivability. She's a game changer with her ult. I think you're gonna like Cloak. Jeff, I'm gonna put him down into probably the C tier, C to D tier. Yes, is there good Jeff players? Yes. Is there people that is on YouTube that are really good with him? Yes. The problem with Jeff, though, is that Jeff, even if you play him as a DPS player, you're not healing. And the thing about him is that you have to be able to play Jeff a certain way. You got to you have to kill people with his ultimate. If you cannot build his ultimate consistently, Jeff is absolutely D tier. But I'm going to put him in C tier. He's okay, but I just would not recommend playing Jeff. All right, Loki. Oh, I really like Loki. I'm going to put him in the A tier just because as a new player, like you're trying to figure out your damage, how much you want to heal, You don't know everybody's ultimates, stuff like that. But as you get used to him, as you're climbing the ranks, I think you're going to like Loki. And Loki, like, even if you guys go three support, people are absolutely okay with having Loki on their team to help with the DPS. Loki's a solid A to me. Luna. Now, the thing with Luna is people think she's here or she's here. I think she's here and here once you understand the game. But as a new player, I think she's like a B. You have to hit her stun. If you don't hit her stun, you're dead. You have to be able to hit her her icicle move, right? Her ultimate is super strong, but you got to know when to use it correctly. So positioning super important to her. You know, you can get flanked by just anybody. So I'm gonna keep Luna in the B tier. Now, if you get good at strategists, right, you understand your counters, you understand people's routes that they run when they try to come after you or they try to flank you. Yeah, Luna's great. But as a new character, new player, no, she's a solid B. Mantis. I like Mantis. You know, you got her sleep ability. I'm gonna put her in the A tier. You got her sleep ability. You got to be able to hit your shots with her. You got to know when to be doing some support with, you know, with your DPS. But that's why I'm gonna put her in the same as Loki. You know, it depends on what kind of DPS character you like using, but both of these for a strategist is pretty nice to have. Rocket. Rocket is horrible between bronze to gold. Horrible. I mean, honestly, bronze to probably platinum. Because that's when people are starting to get their egos. So even if they lose, they're going to blame it on the rocket. But now, once you start to get up into diamond and you start hitting those GM lobbies, rocket becomes pretty strong because of people's mechanics, right? So that's when, like, somebody getting picked, that's where the number matters that that person got revived, right? So now, boom, it's a solid 6v6 again, right? People know what to do with his ultimate, right? You put your ultimate down, Namor sees it, he can ult and can basically one shot anything in the game. So I like Rocket. I'm a Rocket main on my Celestial account. But I'm gonna say for leveling him up, I'm gonna probably put him in a solid B. Now I do like his survivability, with his 2 dashes, because he can play vertical when a lot of people can't follow you, right? So if you learn how to jump up with a dash, you're also able to you're able to slowly come back down to the ground, so you're able to heal under you, and you're able to continue healing your team. So I really, really, really like Rocket. I understand why he's so useful. It's just unfortunately not everyone is going to see it that way. So I would hold off until you hit probably the diamond to GM lobbies. All right, Invisible Girl, S++++ tier. The more I've played Invisible Girl, the more I love her. You know, literally you go invisible with her. You can get away from people. You're able to do pretty good amounts of damage. You're able to push people off of, you know, to get environmental kills. You're able to pull people back in, especially like if you see, like you have a Moon Knight, your Moon Knight ults, you see that everybody's backing up, right? You can literally just pull them back into the ult. Extremely strong. Her ultimate is game changing. Her ultimate is super powerful. Yeah, I really, really like Invisible Girl, and she's definitely a character that I would suggest playing. So yeah, guys, that's kind of my tier list of if I was brand new getting into the game, characters that I would definitely focus on learning and getting good at. And then these are the characters that you can kind of learn as you understand the game more, right? You enjoy the game, right? But this right here will help you build your confidence up, will help you kind of get out of those silver lobbies or those gold lobbies. And then as you're able to play around better people, that's when you can start kind of bringing out some of these other characters. So anyways, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all in my very next video. Peace!